Hi, shifters. It's Jen coming at you on a Sunday. So, believe it or not, I think we have about 6 more days left of the 8-week shift. It's incredible what we have all achieved. And I can think of probably one story for every single shifter of something you shared, of a moment of vulnerability, of a moment of a win. And the last 8 weeks, honestly, have been more than I ever thought they could be. And I am so excited that each of you is going to be finishing this program in just about 6 days. If you're like me, I know I've done a few challenges before, and really the shift group it's not a challenge, right? It's really how do we learn the tools so that we can continue making sustainable choices for us, not just nutrition wise, but overall to help us live our best life. So, but I know towards the end of anything that we typically do, there's a whole bunch of mixed emotions. There can be some emotions of loss. There can be some emotions of finally, it's over. And there could be some emotions of like, oh my God, I just did that. That's super cool, right? So regardless of where you are, we are so proud of each and every one of you. I also came here today to kind of tell you a little bit about something I honestly believe in, and I think about it, I think almost every single day that I work out. And it's about the concept of finishing strong. So again, 6 days to go. I don't know about y'all, but at the end of my high school days, the only thing I really was thinking about is like how to get this over as quickly as possible. And definitely had a lot of senioritis. Probably did not do my best work. And so one of the things I think about often these days is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. How you finish really sets your brand. And I'm excited for each of you to finish strong. First off, as you probably know, we have the bingo that we're currently doing. You get a blackout board, and we will make sure that put your name in the drawing for some free shift swag, which is, by the way, thanks for everybody who's purchased some. We're excited to have some shifters out there wearing shirts that they're proud of, water bottles, towels, etc. So, again, the message I'm coming at you with today is finish strong, right? It's a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So I want to tell you two quick stories. I am a huge college football, basketball fan. So, I'm a huge Gator fan. I mean, as you can tell from the back here. And nothing breaks my heart more than a season where all the players give 100% of who they are. All the players continue amazing practice. You know, what we see on the football field is just a fraction of all the work that's happened. Just kind of like for us, right? What we've seen on the shift board is probably just a fraction of everything that has happened. So last year, actually, this was for the 2020 year. So after coming out of COVID and all the things, I was really excited for a great football season for the Florida Gators. And we actually were up to play LSU. LSU had won the national championship the year prior, but they were unranked. Like, they had a horrible season so far. And so here are the Gators, I think ranked 6th in the nation at that point. And it was going to be in our turf. And well, you have an advantage when you play on your own turf. And I remember it was the end of December. This is the last game before the SEC championship game. So there's a lot on the line. We were number 6. The top 4 schools go off to play in the playoffs. Then from those 4, there's 2, and then, of course, a national champion, right? So the Florida Gators haven't been a national champion since 2008, and I still hold on to that, and I'm excited for what's to come. So here we are. It is actually the fourth quarter, and it is pouring down rain in December at the Swamp. It's our game. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, for LSU, they had been trying really hard. They were not going to go ahead and get beat. Their season might have been terrible, but they still were showing up consistently, and their goal was to beat the Florida Gators. So basically what ends up happening is that the game is now tied. We go ahead and Actually, I'm sorry. Yes, the game is tied. I'm sorry. And we go ahead and we were stopping LSU. And I think it was about the 50-yard line we were stopping them. There was hardly any time on the clock. And we knew that if we stopped them, we had a really good chance of going into overtime and winning the game. Again, we had turf advantage, so we were excited about that. Unfortunately, what ends up happening next is that there's seconds on the clock. There is a player who gets pretty upset at a call that has just been called. And he decides, out of his own merit and selfishly, to take the shoe, yes, the actual shoe of an LSU player, chuck it across the field, and guess what ended up happening? There was unsportsmanlike conduct. At that point, they got a 15-yard advantage, got closer to the field goal. It was their turn to kick, and we lost. All because we decided that we were not going to finish strong. All because somebody decided that this was going to be the end of the game. And, that story definitely broke my heart. I remember watching it and being like, what in the world just happened? We have been, I think, we had lost maybe one game. Actually, we had lost one game, won like 10. So much work we had done. And at the end, we just decided to basically throw it all away. I'll tell you a different story, though. This is in April of 2021, March Madness. I'm a huge Gonzaga fan as well, and they have been trying to go to the national championship and win the entire Big Dance for a number of years. So I remember this one very vividly. I was actually in Estes Park on a family vacation, and it was down to the wire. It was Gonzaga versus UCLA. UCLA had not, they had played a good game. They had definitely come a long way in March Madness, but they were the underdogs, by far the underdogs. So what ends up happening is the game is tied again, right? These all they're tied neck and neck. And all of a sudden I think it was a fraction of a second left on the clock, a Gonzaga player from 40 feet away from the basket throws a shot, makes it in, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs end up going to the national championship. Two very different stories. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, do you want to act like the Gonzaga Bulldogs for the next 6 days and make it happen? Or are you going to basically Florida Gator and let it all go in the last 6 days? I believe enough in each and every one of you to know that you can finish strong. You will finish strong. And for me, this concept every single day that I go to Orange Theory shows up. And the reason why is because I think most of us, sure, we probably can run a base, we can, run a push, but to start off with, right? But when it comes to that moment of all out, or when it comes to a moment of a 23-minute endurance block, for me, I might have started strong, but I'm going to finish stronger. That's usually the point where I point one up it. That's usually the point when I look at the clock and I say, I've been doing this for 22 and a half minutes. There ain't no way in heck that these last 30 seconds are going to go ahead and beat me. So unfortunately, I am a clock watcher when I am on the treadmill. But that has also taught me that you do not give up. You do not press that stop button. You do not slow down. Again, unless you're feeling unsafe or uncomfortable or whatnot, until that coach says 3, 2, 1. So again, my message to each and every one of you today is finish strong. And I'm hoping to see most of you in the collective, honestly. I think we'll continue some great foundational work. I know that week 7 has been tough for many. I'm excited about week 8, which will be posted very soon. And these concepts are just going to continue building on each other on the collective. So I look forward to seeing you on that side. And if you feel like you want to go through the foundational work again, know that we also have the 8-week shift program starting on March 7th that we can totally do that again. But friends, your call to action this week is to finish strong. It's to do that bingo card. It's to show up the way that you have been showing up. And you're going to kill this. You're going to knock this out of the ballpark. And I'm excited for every single one of you to share your journey with your friends and your family because it's been amazing. And just watching it from my side, I can only imagine how many more wins you've had through just the last 8 weeks. So again, I know there might be a whole bunch of big mixed feelings going into the last 6 days. I know that we've got you. We always will. You'll always be a shifter. And we're excited for what's to come. Finish strong. I'll see you on the other side.